not?
The perpetual plank, I think it's fair to say.
He really is the perpetual plank.
And I actually
we could actually do a whole show just on him.
Could start
the whole hour, the whole 10 planks.
So, but I've got a kind of double nomination, I think, on the basis that it's not just for one reason that Keir Starmer should be nominated as Plank of the Week. It's two. The first one is, of course, we've just seen the Lionesses win the European Football Championships for the second time.
Well done to them.
Well done. Brilliant. Well done.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is that in 2022, when they beat Germany, Keir Starmer and Angela Rayner and all of the Labour opposition, as they were then, said, well, of course, there should be a bank holiday.
Yeah.
We demand it, obviously because of the milestone. The milestone that was achieved by the Lionesses. Go back a few days to last weekend, and of course the Lionesses do it again. They beat Spain on penalties. Fantastic. Another round of applause. What does Starmer say now that he's Prime Minister? Oh no, can't possibly have a bank holiday.
But can we just see that tweet again? Can we just see that tweet again? Because it's typical Starmer style, isn't it? Look, I'm never complacent about anything. Well, I'm sorry, he's complacent about bloody everything, right? There should be a celebratory bank holiday if the Lionesses bring it home.
Yeah, but not just that. He's the perpetual U-turner, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he's dizzy.
He is.
If he was a skateboard, he'd be world champion for 360s. But anyway, that's only reason number one. Reason number two, of course, is the fantastic scenes at Turnberry Golf Course when President Trump flew in. There was a presser, and it's just Donald Trump as the President of the United States and Keir Starmer. And Donald Trump, in what I suspect was a completely engineered piece of theatre,
no question,
decides to take our Prime Minister apart. He rinses him, trolls him to his face on the basis, brilliant. And I'm sure we've got a clip, but this is fantastic. This is going to go down in the archives, I think, forever.
Yeah.
As Donald Trump effectively schooling our Prime Minister on such things as crime, immigration, windmills, goodness knows what else, tax, and effectively says to him in front of billions of people watching, if you think you're going to get re-elected, these are the things you need to do. Basically, he recited Reform's policy booklet.
He did. Let's have a look. We've got it here.
You cannot let people come in here illegally. And what happens is there'll be murderers, there'll be drug dealers, there'll be all sorts of things that other countries don't want. And they send them to you, and they send them to us.
So the real Starmer's just looking there. I was going to say the world, like, what am I going to do?
The real plankery is the look on Starmer's face and the body language. In fact, I think it was the Mirror newspaper got a body language expert in to say this is what he was really thinking. He was squirming. You could see the old beat of sweat. It was humiliating. But the way that Starmer reacted, instead of standing up for himself and saying, well, actually, sorry, President Trump, this is what we do in Britain, or this is what I believe we should, whatever. He didn't stand up for himself. No. He looked like a little scolded schoolboy.
He saved his one kind of answer, didn't he, for his good mate, and got to be said how it's good mate, the Mayor of London. Let's have a look at this one.
I'm not a fan of your mayor. I think he's done a terrible job, the Mayor of London, but a nasty person. I think he's done. He's a friend of mine. No, I think he's done a terrible job.
He's a friend of mine. Always tried to get the old hand on the knee, didn't he? Like he did when he was in the Oval Office. Because he loves to do that. Loves to put his hands on people, and it's so cringy. You kind of go, oh man. Also, I love the way that Trump doesn't actually mention Sadiq Khan by name.
No,
he just calls him the Mayor of London.
But Howard, you must have loved that.
I watched that. It was a masterclass of what he did. Watching Starmer, he was trying not to squirm, but he couldn't actually not squirm. He was absolutely humiliated, and everyone knows that. And if he doesn't realise that, I mean, he didn't go down to see the girls in Buckingham Palace in terms of the reception, which is good, because he would have been booed there as well, so he's not welcome anywhere. But to cut a long story short, Starmer masterclass.
But you know what's funny about it is that, this is a guy who will literally put out a tweet every sort of 24 minutes, because of something that he's done. And he had the Prime Minister of Czechia, which I didn't know was a country until relatively recently. No, the Czech Republic is now called. That's what it's now called, Czechia.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Chechnya. He hasn't had them yet. He then had the German Chancellor Wirtz, and all the time he's putting out pictures of him hugging people. Zelensky comes, gives him a hug. That all goes out on his social media. He hasn't posted one thing from the Trump visit. Almost as though he's trying to pretend it didn't happen.
You wouldn't think that was Donald Trump. You would think that that was Keir Starmer in America.
Exactly.
He was just he shrunk. Yeah. Donald Trump was the statesman.
Because it was his property. Turnberry was a beautiful hotel, and actually, I know from I used to go there before Trump bought it. And Trump has really made it into a proper, nice 5-star resort, which it wasn't. It was all a bit run down. It was a bit of a sort of old-fashioned railway hotel. But he's really made it a fantastic.
Isn't it refreshing, though, to hear a politician of any flavour and from any country sit there and speak his mind like Trump does?
Yeah.
And he does it with such panache.
I guess from when he got off Air Force One, he was there chatting to the journalists. There wasn't 1 second
Right.
wasted, was there?
No, and
No.
he just commands the room, doesn't he? I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like when Starmer's having a press conference, he's kind of standing there all stiff and he doesn't really know how to move, doesn't know what to say.
Well, Trump actually walked down the bottom to the bottom of the steps from Air Force One, didn't he? And immediately, I mean, he literally only just stood, 2 feet on British soil
Yeah.
and started slating our obsession with windmills, in other words,
Right.
I love the way he says windmill.
and immigration. Windmills, what are these things that I saw as I came in?
Well, it's derogatory saying windmills, not wind
And
turbines.
it's just fantastically candid.
Yeah.
I love it.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, earlier on in the week, I decided to do a bit of an impersonation of it. I don't know what's wrong with him. It is very kind of Max Headroom like,
Honestly,
isn't it?
mate, you should have your own impression show. I mean, the impression you do of Trump, and of course,
Yeah.
Meghan Markle. I mean,
Yes.
there's a whole
There is
repertoire.
a whole repertoire. And also this week we had Kerry Bainott on the show, and I wanted to find out if she, like me, agreed that this guy is an absolute out and out liar.
He gets away with it because at the dispatch box, I can't say you're lying. So I have to show it rather than say it.
Yeah.
And I think people are beginning to see.
So it sounds like you do believe that he's a liar, though.
Yeah.
He is. It's a pretty big indictment of the Prime Minister of Great Britain and Northern Ireland that he's actually a liar, and everybody knows it.
Yep.
And one of the reasons I got her to say that was because somebody complained that I had suggested that he was a liar from Downing Street. So
Of course he is.
So, well, I'm just going to ask everybody else what they think. Do you think he's a liar,
Well, of course he's a liar.
Candice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely pathological with Sadiq Khan.
Steve?
It would appear so.
Definitely. He's so diplomatic. He's so diplomatic. That's why he's here. But it's true. I mean, you can't imagine a worse prime minister. Every day we come in and every day we go, we can't just do Starmer. But I mean, lately that's all you do.
Well, he is the gift
Because
that keeps on giving.
He's
But
unbelievable.
the
he's-
regret.
Yeah.
It's the regret that people I know who
Yeah.
voted for him are like, oh my gosh, I didn't think it would be this
I
bad.
still want to know who the 17 or 18% of people that still support Starmer and the Labour Party are. I suspect it's the teachers, the civil servants,
The
and
ones
the
he
doctors.
gives money to.
Yeah, of course.
I
Yeah,
mean, he's
that's it.
basically bribing the people
Yeah.
that support him in order to keep their support.
He is a man with absolutely no belief, no conviction,
Yeah.
no ideology. He's a populist, and he's completely out of his
He's
depth.
very unpopular populist. I mean,
Yes.
most populists have actually got a bit of a following.
You
He's
think
got
he'd be
none.
better at being
Everybody
populist?
thinks he's a massive play. Also, he was the one that decided to go and see Trump. He would have been better off not going to see Trump.
Yes.
Because he could have then basked in the sort of, the glory of the Lionesses winning the
Oh, he should have
Euros.
sent Rain.
Right.
It would have been even funnier.
That would have been funnier. But I mean, the fact is that because he's so obsessed with being the man on the international stage, he actually missed a trick because he'd been far better off. I mean, as you say, he probably would have been booed if he was on the open top bus parade. But if he stayed in Downing Street, he would have had his face with them,
Yeah.
which would have been far better than this now, what he is hoping that everyone will forget. Visit from Donald Trump.
Send Sadiq Khan next time, Howard.
That'd be great. I would love to. I would pay good money
I would.
to see Starmer to see Sadiq Khan in the same room as Trump.
Yeah.
That would be brilliant. We've got the other thing that he's done this week, which of course I've been railing on about, is the country up and down it, from Epping to Altrincham in Manchester. There was a big march in Glasgow, Norfolk, down in Bournemouth, I think, in Birmingham. There's all sorts of demonstrations. Canary Wharf, there's one going on outside these migrant hotels. He hasn't addressed it. He hasn't mentioned it. He hasn't tweeted about it. All he's done most of the last week, apart from being humiliated by Donald Trump, is trying to get nation status for Gaza. He cares more about people in Gaza. He cares about people in Britain.
Shall we be thankful that, yes, he hasn't made any statements, but at least he hasn't labelled patriotic, peaceful protesters as the far right? this
That's
time?
probably why he doesn't know what to say. Anyway, I think that's it then. We can all go home. Thanks very much indeed. That was Plank of the Week. We'll see. Candice, over to you.
Well, that actually